The Nordic model prostitution legislation legalised the act of prostitution and provides exit pathways for those caught in prostitution, while at the same time criminalising the buying and selling of sex. There are a variety of different reasons why women get into prostitution, but it is almost always because they feel like they have no other choice, not because it is something they particularly want to do. And once women are in prostitution, it is very difficult to get out. The Nordic model prostitution legislation recognises this reality and makes it easier for women to leave prostitution by getting rid of the fear of prosecution and providing exit pathways for them. The demand for prostitution can be greatly reduced by criminalising the purchasing of sex. If there are real consequences to purchasing sex, very few people would be willing to take the risk, and the demand for prostitution would be drastically reduced overnight and eventually become almost non-existent. The supply of prostitution can be greatly reduced by criminalising the selling of sex. If pimps and others involved in the sale of sex begin to face harsh consequences for their actions, they'll be forced to reconsider the viability of such practices. The Nordic model prostitution legislation will also help to address the problem of sex trafficking. With the demand for prostitution within Queensland being reduced, as well as the number of pimps declining, and the Queensland Police actively investigating and prosecuting sex traffickers, as well as prostitutes within Queensland being given effective exit strategies, sex trafficking into Queensland will soon come to a halt. And if other states in Australia and countries around the world adopt this model, we may be able to put an end to this industry worldwide. This legislation will not only protect and help vulnerable women here in Queensland, it will help restore a greater level of morality within our society and help reduce the number of women from third world countries being coerced into sex slavery. This legislation has already been successfully implemented in other countries around the world, and now Queensland has the chance to be the first state in Australia to introduce it. If I'm elected to Parliament, introducing the Nordic model prostitution legislation will be one of my top priorities. Authorised by Daniel Gill, 23 William Street, Roma.